If you wanted proof that cultural diversity is just shorthand for no white people, get a load of this. A girl was banned from a school's Cultural Diversity Day for wearing a Union Jack dress and celebrating British culture. Courtney Wright is a 12-year-old pupil at Bilton School, which had a culture celebration day. The head teacher, Jayne Delves, told parents, "This special day is dedicated to recognising and celebrating the rich cultural diversity within our school community. Wear your traditional cultural dress to school instead of your usual school uniform. Your attire must reflect your nationality of family heritage." So what's a British girl to do? Courtney dressed like one of the crowning glories of British culture. Ginger Spice in a Union Jack patterned skater dress. She paired it with a bowler hat, a nod to the era when British men on this island politely doffed their greetings rather than grunted, "Yo fam."
Culture Day, I decided to wear my Union Jack dress to represent the music and the nationality where I come from. It made me feel proud, it made me feel confident. All my friends were saying, "Oh my god, what a great dress."
Sounds great, doesn't it? Well, she was treated as if she'd turned up covered in swastikas. She was segregated from the other kids and told to sit in reception to be collected by her father.
The first teacher I saw, she straight away just took me to go get changed. She didn't want to hear about my dress or see it. She just straight away wanted to get changed and not be in it. Another teacher tried to stop me and said, "You can't be in that, it's your nationality and not your culture." And some other girl who's wearing her family tradition, like rugby top, got told to change as well. They asked me to come with them and to change into a second-hand school uniform. And then they said that I didn't sign a form when the head of year did ring my mum and she said she did sign it, yet they still didn't want me to wear it.
According to her dad, staff informed Courtney that the non-uniform day was intended to highlight minority cultures and that British culture is something you celebrate every day, which is a bit like telling a fish it's not allowed to celebrate water. A second pupil who arrived in a farmer-style outfit was reportedly also subjected to a struggle session by the communist apparatchiks who run our public services now.
I went to the school, pick her up to see your daughter, who's, she's a grade A student, and she's sat in reception like she's being punished for something. She wasn't allowed in school, she wasn't allowed to take part, the school wasn't willing to read her speech, they weren't interested in anything she had to say. She was literally put out to one side and treated like she was doing something wrong, and you could see in her face she didn't, she was upset. It's terrible because this is a 12-year-old child's interpretation of what British culture is to her. So, for example, mine would be perhaps a man with a pinstripe suit and a bowler hat, drinking a cup of tea. A 90-year-old person's might be something else, but this is a 12-year-old's representation of what British culture means to her, and she was silenced and she was shut down, and she wasn't the only one. There was other kids there, and for me, these kids need to be proud of where they come from, and they need to learn about and share their experiences about their culture.
Silence! A black woman is speaking. Listen and learn. The school says they celebrate British culture every day, but I would love to know when the school actually celebrates British culture each day, because I'm guessing it's not celebrated at all, as Courtney alludes to in the speech she prepared but didn't get to say. Here's the piece Courtney wrote for the Cultural Day. "Today I want to talk about my culture, British culture, and why it's important to me. In Britain, we have lots of traditions, including drinking tea, our love for talking about the weather, and we have the royal family. We have amazing history, like kings and queens, castles, and writers like Shakespeare. It's also modern, diverse, and always changing, with music, fashion, and food from all around the world blending into daily life. And let's not forget fish and chips. It's also the way we speak, our humour, our values of fairness and politeness, and the mix of old traditions and new ideas. But sometimes at school, we only hear about other cultures, which is great because learning about different countries is interesting and important, but it can feel like being British doesn't count as a culture just because it's the majority. I think culture should be for everyone, not just for people from other countries or backgrounds. Being British is still a culture, and it matters too. It's part of who I am. So let's celebrate all cultures, whether they come from far away or right here at home." Wow, what a monster. She even celebrates diversity in her speech, and it still wasn't enough for the school. If only she'd worn the flag of Palestine and celebrated Hamas, she'd be getting straight A's for this unit. Can you imagine if they'd done this to any person other than a white British girl? The teachers would currently be clapped in stocks outside the Guardian offices, being pelted with falafel and pounded yam. Courtney's father collected his daughter mid-morning and posted about the incident on Facebook, calling the decision exclusionary and contrary to the school's stated aim of inclusivity. He said Courtney was so embarrassed and couldn't understand what she'd done wrong. I mean, obviously she'd done nothing wrong apart from hope for equal treatment, but sadly her once great nation is in the grip of communists who want to erase its chalkboard, to rewrite it as a nationless, borderless socialist utopia. They aren't elevating Somali poetry and jollof chicken out of cultural appreciation, they're just an excuse to banish Shakespeare's iambics and hide the fish and chips behind the bike shed. Equality and diversity specialists note that the Equality Act of 2010 protects pupils from discrimination on the grounds of race or nationality, which could mean that Courtney has a legal case against the school. However, schools are afforded discretion in setting dress code parameters for themed events. The school issued an apology over the weekend saying, "On Friday the 11th July, an incident occurred during our culture celebration day that caused considerable upset to one of our pupils, her family and members of the wider community. We deeply regret the distress this has caused and offer our sincere and unreserved apologies. We are reviewing our policies and strengthening staff training to ensure every student feels recognised and supported when expressing pride in their heritage." The school confirmed that it had spoken directly with the Wright family and promised a formal review of how future cultural events are planned. Fortunately, this won't be much of a problem in the future, as there won't be any white kids left. Births to people of foreign origin will be higher than white British births in 2029. But hey, I'm sure that when white Brits are in the minority, the majority will treat us with the same condescending kid gloves that we treat minorities now. Well, you'd better hope so. Anyway, thanks for listening. If you want to support me making these videos, you can sign up to my Patreon and join a growing community of the only sane people left in the West and get early access and no ads. Have you ever wondered why random people know your phone number, address, political leanings, or that weird thing you bought online at 3 AM? This is the work of data brokers who go through your digital detritus like your mum went through your stuff when you were 14 and found your wank sock. These nosy companies vacuum up your personal details like addresses, social media info, court records, family details, even your embarrassing high school photos, and then sell it to anyone who'll pay. Marketers, scammers, vengeful ex-girlfriends, or the bloke from last week's road rage incident who wrote down your number plate, paid 20 quid for your home address, and is now hiding in your garden dressed like Rambo. You can stop all of this using Incogni. They scrub your personal data from the internet, and you can click here for 60% off. And you get robocalls from guys named Stephen who know way too much about you, pretending to be from your bank or telling you you've won a prize. That's data brokers at work too. When scammers have your data, it gives them the weapons they need to target you or your family. Identity theft, scams, stalking, the risks are massive, but manually tracking and removing your information from hundreds of these dodgy sites would take forever. There's good news. Incogni does it all automatically. It contacts the brokers, fights their objections, slaps them around the face a bit, and repeatedly removes your data, because data brokers are like weeds. They keep popping back up. And with Incogni's new custom removals tool, which is included in their most popular plan, you can request removal from any site, even those outside of their automated system, giving you maximum control over your digital footprint. You can take your personal data back. Use the code KEARS at the link below for 60% off an annual plan and stop being a sitting duck for scammers, marketers, and creepy road ragers. Click now at incogni.com/Kearse. That's Kearse. Okay, thanks for listening. I've been Leo Kearse. Bye. Bye bye.